What's going on, guys? Taking a look here at Aerodrome Finance. It is the 15th of November. It's 4:29 a.m. on the East Coast. We're going to look here at Bitcoin. We're going to look here at Aerodrome Finance / the United States dollar. This will be a daily chart, and the price data is from Coinbase. The Coinbase chart is the one that we keep track of here. So we had another red day yesterday. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on how today's closes. 6 red days for Aerodrome Finance here. We made a new daily lower low yesterday and again today. So again, we were talking about, look, once these daily lower lows stop, we can start to look at higher prices, a change in trend back to the upside for Aerodrome. That obviously didn't come into play yesterday, and it's obviously not going to come into play today as we have a new daily lower low today. Hit a low so far of 123.6. What we have right now is some intraday market support at 119.870. That's this white line on the chart. Let me zoom in here for you guys. So we have the markets broke support at the 128, 129 level yesterday, which is a pretty important level. Unfortunately, we'll see. Our next level below that we talked about yesterday was 119.87, and you can see as we wick through that and are trading back above it. So far, that's intraday support. I have no clue if that will hold throughout the day or not. If it does, we can start to look at the market moving back to the upside again, and the next level would be 128, 120, 128, 128.3, 129, 450. That's these three levels right here. But we'll see. If we close below 119.87, then the odds start to increase that we actually are heading lower down to our next level, which would be 110.7, 1.107, unfortunately. So again, let's be a realist here of what is most likely to happen. Anything can happen in these markets, okay? What our job is in the market is, if you're a trader anyways, is to try to stack as many odds in your favor. Take a trade, have a stop loss, protect your capital. You don't want to lose your capital. It's too hard to get. And then, carry on. So that's all we're doing here is trying to stack the odds in our favor, okay? Most of you probably aren't trading this, but that's how I look at the markets. As a trader, where to get in, where to get out, where the market is most likely to go, protect your capital, let your profits run, stop losses, etc. So today, let's keep our eye on 119.87. Hopefully, we got to close above that. That will, again, start to shift our minds of, hey, maybe the prices are going to rise now up towards that 128 level for starters. We already have a daily lower low in, so we're not going to change that. If we can print a daily higher low tomorrow, let's say we find support at 119.87, put a daily higher high in. All right, that's a good look. That's a good start. We can start to look up there between 128, 128.3, 129.450. If the markets decide to crumble today on Friday, and we take out our intraday low, which right now is 115.6, we could be well on our way down to the 110 level. Excuse me, 110.7 to be exact. That's this purple line right here. And then not too much further below that, guys, you're going to start to come into play again with that neckline, unfortunately. That would be, if the markets went down there today, that would put the price at right around 106 would be that neckline. 106.42, you can see right here, 106.42 is a support line. That lines up very close with this head and shoulders neckline. So, hey, I hope that doesn't happen, but have a plan in place if the markets are down there today. We don't know what will happen. Anything can happen in these markets, okay? You can see crazy up moves. You can see crazy down moves. Be prepared, trade accordingly, be positioned accordingly, etc. So that would be 106.42. Let's talk about the bullish scenario real quick. If we print a higher low for tomorrow's candle, which would be Saturday, the 16th of November, we're going to start to talk about higher price targets, okay? Again, like I said, for starters, 128, 129, but we're really going to start to talk about new price targets, back up in this level. The 160 and the the 160 and the 173.8 are no longer valid. I actually have to remove them from the chart. Yesterday we had a higher daily low when I recorded the video, and that got broken. So these markets are continuing to go lower, which means this 173 and 160 are no longer a valid target. They're not accurate pricing. But we will start to talk about higher prices up here whenever we print a daily higher low. Just like when markets print a daily lower high, we start to look to the downside. Here's a daily lower high right here on the 11th of November after the high of the move came in on the 10th. Resistance came in at 158. Start to look to the downside. Flip that, start to look to the upside when we print a daily high or low. Somebody, I guess yesterday or the day before, hey, what's your highest price target for Aerodrome? I had mentioned I think it's in the $5 range. That is not accurate. The price target I have up here all the way is the 1, and that's what I thought. But I was looking at the chart. Maybe it was in the $5 range. It's not. It's $3.60. $3.60 is my highest price target right now for Aerodrome. $3.60. Now, I'm not saying that's the highest it can go. That's the highest I have right now under these current market conditions. That can be way higher than that. Putting a cap on that, saying, hey, it's only going to $3 or only going to $6. It can't go any higher. That's nonsense. It can go a lot higher. Markets can go down to 0, be delisted, whatever, but they can continue to rise. So markets can go in one direction and the other direction way further for way longer than people think. You can only go down to 0, but you can continue to rise. So, but right now that's what I have. It's $3.60. If we took off straight up today and we found ourselves up there at $3.60, I would expect major market resistance right at this level right here. But, I don't think that'll happen. Anyways, again, and that'll change. If we start trading up here, if these markets are trading up here at 285, 317, maybe even down here 247, I will have higher targets than 360. That's just under what's happening, currently and what's happened in the past. All right. So again, we're going to wrap this up here. There's really not too much more to talk about. We kind of covered a couple things even outside of what's going on right now. Look, it would be for the bulls. This is bullish scenario is you want to see the market find support at one of these levels. The current level in play is 119.87. If we close below that, the odds flip. The odds favor, I should say, and move back down to the 110 area. And then below that would be our neckline at 106. We have a support line 106.42. The markets close above 119.87 today. Let's start to look north, look higher. The odds start to favor a move back up to the 128 for starters. And then, 128.3, 129.450, etc. What you want to see for the bulls, which most people are bullish, is you need to see this market stop printing daily lower lows. What happens when the market stops printing daily lower lows? Let's take a look back real quick, and then we'll wrap this up here. When the market stops printing daily lower lows, so check this out. Here is our move here between the 25th of October and the 29th of October. We had a daily lower high on the 30th. We start to shift our gears as, hey, markets might be topping out Not even talking about our price levels, just talking about straight uh, market range. The next day, we had a lower high, a lower low. The next day, we had a lower high, a lower low. The next day, a lower high, a lower low. Followed again by a lower high and a lower low. Followed again on the 4th of November by a lower high and a lower low. What took place on the 5th of November? A higher low. Fortunately, a higher high. Mainly the higher low. What took place after that move? Now, this doesn't happen every time perfectly, but that's what I start to look for. Is I might have talked about it. You can go back and try to find these videos from they're not that far back, from the 5th of November, when this market took off from from the higher low to the, before we printed a let's see here. So the higher low, even to this move right here, which would have been about a 39% move, and then the next day was a lower high. And then it actually printed another daily higher low and a higher high the next day. But so a 40% move took place from there. Again, it's not perfect every time. Here's another scenario here. We have a daily higher low and a higher high. Market went on to run quite a bit. This is how I look at the markets. There's a lot of different ways you can look at the markets. You know, you have to find what works for you, what makes sense for you, etc. A lot of ways to pull money out of the markets. Long-term investor, trader, options, futures, whatever it is. But this is how I look at it, and hopefully you guys pick up a couple things along the way. And one of the most important things, I think, is protecting your capital. Protect it. It's you just don't want to lose it all, in my opinion, or even a huge chunk of it. There's no reason to ride a market down, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80% when you can cut your losses and get back in the market if it flips and starts to do well again. Guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you are not yet subscribed, join us here if you're interested in these cryptocurrencies. We have Bitcoin here in a pennant pattern. We have a little update here, $1,700, almost 18. We're printing a series of higher lows and lower highs, which forms a pennant. Yeah, we'll see if it breaks out to the upside or not. We still have a target above the market at 96,626. You guys have a great Friday. I'll catch you down in the comments. All links down below. Download your trade tracker if you have not yet, down there in the video description. Take it easy.